Gather around, scholars. Today we will be reading a special story. It is titled Simon Smith, the Stuttering Snail. It is written and illustrated by Mrs. Rodriguez. Now, has anyone seen a snail in real life before? I know I have. I always encounter them while gardening in my front yard. Snails are indeed neat creatures. Now, let's read more about this story and discover Simon Smith's story about his stuttering. Let's begin. Howdy, y'all. My name is Simon, and I am 12 years old. My favorite hobbies include playing soccer, debating, and helping my mom garden. Tomorrow is my first day of regular public school, and I am so excited to make new friends. At the same time, I am a bit nervous because my mama tells me that it might not be so easy for me to make friends. I have gone to a special school all my life and made many friends, so I do not think it'll be as hard as she pictures. I am just like everyone else, but with a speech disorder. Today is a special day where I get to make regular friends. My mama made my favorite breakfast, which is waffles with hot syrup and milk. Her nerves overpower her as she constantly reminds me that I am no different than anyone else. I comfort her by giving her a huge hug and thanking her for her nice words of encouragement. After I finish, I rush out the door to go to school. Westside Middle School seemed to be throwing a bash to celebrate the new school year. As I walked in, I felt welcomed, since the administrators greeted us with huge smiles. In the main hallway, numerous of clubs and organizations were set up with tables awaiting new members. I walked nervously among the crowded hallway until I stumbled upon the student council table, where I immediately froze. My eyes were glued to the shiny gold medal that stated class president. At that moment, my heart desired nothing more than to represent my student body. Next thing I knew, the bell rang to go to homeroom. Mrs. Pius was waiting for us in a circle arranged seating to share our summer experiences and a bit about ourselves. I was so excited about joining student council that as soon as she asked for a volunteer, I blasted out of my seat. I I joyfully said, My name is Simon, and I, I, I want to be the next c- class pre- president. And oh, my summer was great. Immediately, the room got filled with mocking laughter, and everyone saying that it would only be possible in my dreams. I I began to sob both of anger and shame. The tears could not stop, and the teacher assistant, Mrs. Peters, escorted me to the counselor's office. As I sat in the office waiting for my mama, I could hear her soft words saying, "Baby, you are no different than anyone else." Yet, on the other ear, I could hear the laughing and teasing of my new classmates. At that moment, I realized why my mom had said it would be difficult to make friends. My stutter will always get in the way of things, but not of becoming the next class president. Uh, as soon as I spotted my mom in the front office, I dashed right in her arms, where we broke down. Mrs. Jefferson, my special education teacher, gathered us in the counselor's office, where she developed a brilliant plan. After uh, explaining this situation to my mom, she was furious, but knew that it was the first time the students had encountered a student with a disability like mine, which is why we all agreed to go talk to my new classmates to explain to them my disability. We were certain that it would help them see that I am not as different as they might think. The fear of being rejected once again filled my stomach and made me feel sick, but I knew if we did not try, there was no way I could make friends. Once my classmates saw me at the door, they began pointing, and some began to giggle. Miss Peters gathered everyone in the circle again and announced that Mrs. Jefferson and I had important information to share. I started by indicating that the thing that makes me speak weird was passed down from my great grandmother. I I have a speech disorder called dysphagia, or more commonly known as stuttering. I continued to describe how my stutter disrupts my flow of speech by involuntary repetition and prolongation of sounds. Sometimes I make pauses or blocks when I am unable to produce sounds, syllables, words, or phrases. Although there is no known cure for my disability, I have shown amazing improvements with Patty, my speech pathologist. At the end of the day, even though my speech is slow, it does not define my intelligence or who I am. As I scanned the room to see my classmates' reaction, I noticed a glimpse of shock and regret from their previous actions. Like most of you, I love playing sports. I I like coming to school. I enjoy making friends. And most importantly, I love to learn. My mama has taught me the significance of obtaining an education, just like all your parents. I have feelings, hopes, and dreams like every other snail. One day, I strive to become the next president of the United Snail Nation. But until then, my goal is to be your next class president. I hope I have opened your eyes and made y'all realize that we're not so different after all. After my speech, Miss Peters instructed the class to give me a round of uh, applause for my bravery as they huddled around me to give me a group hug. For the first time, I felt accepted, even if there was a teeny misunderstanding at the beginning. I am so grateful that I listened to Miss Jefferson and gave my classmates a second chance. They all began to chant, "Simon for President! Simon for President! Simon for President!" From that moment forward, we all became friends in Miss Peters' class, and everyone was helping me with the Simon Smith for President campaign. Mrs. Peters would dedicate Friday's class time to work on campaign posters and decorations. 1 month later, election day rolled around and I was extremely nervous because I had to give a speech in front of the entire school. As I stepped to the podium, I felt like I would not be able to talk, just stutter. I simply focused by closing my eyes, taking a deep breath, and looking over at the front row where my friends and mama were cheering me on. Comfort invaded me as I gave my best shot at my weakest skill, which due to my disability is public speaking. I began to recite the speech as I delegated the wonderful opportunities and friendships that West Side Middle School had brought into my life. Above all, the pride it would bring to a snail with disabilities as myself to have such a responsibility to represent others that are often seen as superior by the Snail Society. Overall, I reminded everyone that even if I am not the best at speaking, that does not make me a terrible student or less capable of representing the student body as the other candidates. My courage and resilience made me out, out, outshine. After the candidates concluded their speeches, we all received an applause, and the principal stepped up with the final result. She congratulated each one of us and slowly opened the envelope to reveal that Simon Smith is our new class president. I was awarded the golden medal and immediately went over to Mrs. Peters, Mrs. Jefferson, my mama, and my friends to celebrate the accomplishment. I told them proudly that I guess I am not so different in comparison to everyone else after all. Do not forget that no matter the barriers, you can always accomplish what you set your mind and heart to do. A quote from Simon Smith the Snail. The end.